Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Life After the D. I am your host, Coach April Elle, and it is my job as a trained coach to help you navigate life post-divorce and post-trauma. So the reason that we are doing this show is to show people that there is things that happen, but your story doesn't end right there. There is life after whatever devastation you may have experienced. So my guest today is the phenomenal Portia. You should know her, but you're going to get to know her right now if you don't. It is an absolute pleasure, Portia, to have you here. We go way back. way back.
Oh, yes.
So, Portia, welcome. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, what your family dynamic is. Just tell us about Portia.
All right. Well, definitely. First of all, I'm a full-time mom, if you might have heard some stuff in the background. But yeah, I am a mother of two children, two teenagers, a girl and a boy. And of course, my daughter is a special needs child. She's autistic. And so I definitely get a lot of patience from God and a lot of help from him in being able to raise her. I'm also a teacher. I teach English. I'm middle school right now. Pray for us. So I do that. I teach English, among other things that I can do in the classroom, because, of course, our kids need more than just that one thing. Mm-hmm. I also sing. I'm a recording artist, singer-songwriter, arranger, you name it. Love music. Been singing since I was 3 years old. Mm-hmm. So it's in me, and I do that as well. And let's see, I'm also a new business owner. I've been in real business, right? For about 2 years now, and also started another business. So I have a African products business that I started after I got back from Ghana, West Africa. So I do that, and then I also have a new financial services company that I started in partnership with a larger company as well. So I, educate people on finances, economic empowerment, trying to get themselves, make sure that they get in a position to protect their income using like life insurance or investments, mutual funds, you name it. That's what I do. So again, I'm just trying to get in a place where I just kind of like, work in my purpose and help as many people as I can, because I feel like God has called me to do that. Yes. So I probably do other things as well, but as they come, I just can't remember everything. But I just everything that He puts on my plate, I'm just like, all right, God, you put it here, so help me to maintain and take it forward and take it to the masses.
Absolutely. That is phenomenal, Portia. Like, you're what the world would call a boss. Yeah. That's what you are. Absolutely. And we know that God gives one talent, God gives some 5 talents, God gives some 10 talents. And of course, He has given you multiple, and you kill every one of them. That's just how phenomenal you are. It's just like the boss. You're the boss. It's just a boss. So, Portia, tell us a little bit about your story.
So, yeah. All right. So, relationally, as I guess I'll start there. Essentially, I grew up oldest of 3 girls in our home, and at a young age, I was about maybe 9 or 10. My parents divorced, and that was my first, I guess, real encounter with divorce. And it was a little devastating, a little shocking to me and my sisters, but I just saw my mother like keep going. She's a registered nurse, and she just kept going. The dynamic changed in the family. We didn't, we moved from where we were and had to stay with grandmother, and then we moved. But I just, growing up, I just saw her continuing to push on. And I didn't know at the time any traumas or anything that she went through. She never shared it with us. All I knew was my mama still going. She's not letting this get her down. She was able later to, marry a nice gentleman who came along, and I saw him come in and like embrace us as his own. And so I was able to see, okay, not everybody, kind of falls off after divorce, that it's possible, to push forward. But again, I didn't know that would be my story. I just knew, okay, that's all I knew about divorce, right? So coming out of college, years later, my mindset was, I just want to, check off these things on my list. Okay, I went to college, check. All right, now I got to get married, check. And I don't know who told me that I had to do all of that, but that was my mindset. I felt like I was nothing unless I was married. Now, that's really messed up in your mind, but a lot of people have that mindset of I'm not worthy, I'm not worth anything unless I'm married. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. And I didn't know that, you can take your time, get to know who you are. The things I know now, allow God to show you who you are, to find your identity in Him, travel the world, do all these things. I just was like, nope, I don't need to be married. So because that was my mindset, it was all I saw. I had tunnel vision. I wanted to be loved, and I want to love, but I didn't love myself. So, and I didn't know myself. But again, you couldn't tell me anything. I was headstrong. So anyway, met a gentleman, and we fell in love or whatever. And I moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and got married. And you couldn't tell me anything. I was like, good, check, I'm married now. Didn't know anything about marriage. Yeah. It was like, I'm married now. So happy I'm married. Because in my mind, as I reflect back on it, I saw being single as a curse, or you don't want to do that. It's not, you again, you are nothing if you're not married. I don't know where I got it from, but in my mind, that's what I wanted to be. Yeah. And, it was reinforced in the church. I saw people married, and all of the single people, and I'm not bashing the church, I'm saying where I was. Right. It's like the single people over there, and they didn't have much for them to do. Oh, but the married people and the families, it seemed like they had so many opportunities, activities, and I guess I was like, man, I want to do that. And nobody ever said, hey, you can, it's okay. Everybody's equal in the eyesight of God. And I was just messed up in the head as far as mentally. So anyway, got married, and, just lived my life and thought that was, what I was supposed to do. I had 2 beautiful children. And, but things were, as people say in marriage, you have the ups and downs of, disagreements and arguments. Okay, fine, you have that. But what I was not prepared for was betrayal and adultery. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that never was in my mindset, because I got married to stay married. Yes. A lot of people say, well, you get married now, and and that was my thing. I want to stay married. That's why I got married. But it didn't happen like that for me. So after about maybe 3 years maybe into the marriage, I learned some things that really shook me to my core. Almost had a breakdown, but I was being told on one end and again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm bashing the church. I'm only talking about where I was, okay? Because every church is not like this, and every pastor's not like this. Right. But I had a minister telling me, well, hey, now, y'all, I know this information is devastating. And essentially, my husband at the time had said, told me that he cheated or was continuing. She had always been cheating, and in ways that I never thought that would happen to me. He was being unfaithful to me with people of the same gender, if you follow me. So that was something I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah. So a lot of people, I was in a place where I was just like, okay, I'm not home. I'm away from home. The people that I know, my family is his family, and they didn't know either at the time. So I was like, who can I talk to? And because I didn't have that real relationship with God, I cried out to him, and I was like, oh my God, like, what am I supposed to do? I felt, angry. I wanted to hurt him, but then I was like, oh, I got kids, I don't want to go to jail, and I thought, at least I was sane in that respect. Yeah. But I didn't want to go to jail, because I was like, somebody who's gonna take care of my kids now? That must be the Holy Spirit, because it's like, okay, girl, don't do this. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to harm myself. I was working in radio. So I was going on the radio, playing gospel music in the morning, doing a morning show, and had this information come out in my house, and I had to keep getting up. I stayed there for about 4 months during the time where I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm going crazy. And I was like, how am I able to get up, encourage people, tell them about Jesus when at my house, this hell at my house, right?
Yeah.
And why am I going through the situation where I have a minister telling me, because we were ministers of music in the church. So, hey, whatever y'all got going on, I know it's tough. That's hard to take. He acknowledged that it was horrible. That was a horrible thing to confess. And it wasn't that my husband at the time wanted to confess. God, that's a long story, but God allowed it to come out like that.
Right.
He said, now y'all go on and work it out now. He said, because we got a ministry to think about. First thing I said, my God, this person don't care about me. Wow. So you went about your ministry. Okay. And his wife, God bless her, she, was like, hey, there are some ups and downs in marriage, and you're going to have to go through some things. And little did I know, she had also gone through some of the same things with her own husband. See, I didn't know it at the time. So instead of her coming to me, probably saying, sis, you got to do what God is telling you to do. She didn't tell me that. It was more of, hey, you got to keep it together because, we got a ministry to think of, and you got your family there, and don't tell your family now. I was like, wow. So I got a lot of mixed messages, needs to say. Yeah. And I really had to, and I know it was God setting me up. I really had to block out all the voices, all the noise, even the church people. And I had to really go to him. And honestly, April, that was my second awakening. My first awakening was when I was 19. I really came to the Lord in my dorm room. That's when I really finally knew the Lord, right? This was my second awakening. I said, okay, now God, now I went through the scriptures, Lord. This ain't right. I said, what do you want me to do? Yeah. He took me to Isaiah 54, I believe. And, it talks about, I am your husband. Essentially, he said, I am your husband. I'm going to be with you regardless. He said, now, I care for you. He began to teach me through his word all over again. So that the thoughts that I had about harming myself, as I did, I wanted to kill myself. Yeah. Many times I would come from the station and I was driving. And I remember one day the devil himself said, go ahead on and run this car off the road. You don't need them anyway. Forget them. He'll take care of them. You don't need them. Forget them. I remember it to this day. Yeah. And then the Holy Spirit said, no, baby. Yeah. So anyway, I went through all of that and with all that trauma. And then, like I said, I prayed and I didn't talk to anybody. I kept going to the radio station. That was my saving grace too. Kept going, playing the gospel music, kept encouraging people. And then I would get off the air and then go sit and wouldn't go straight home. And I would go listen to, Fred Hammond had this album that it was so divine. He was going through divorce at the same time. And I hadn't gone through it yet. He was going through it. And he came out with an album that I remember that. And he had a song that said, I will find a way to lift my hands. I will find a way to lift up my hands. And I will find a way to worship you more. And I was like, I got to find a way. Through all this foolishness, I got to find a way. Now I got to use common sense and wisdom too now. I can't be so spiritually shababo. Oh, I must stay. Nah, I'm going to find out what the Lord want me to do. Yeah. Because this right here, nah. So I had to do what I had to do. And I know people will say, oh, you could have. I had to do what the Lord told me to do. Whatever you have to do in your situation, I feel like you got to do whatever God tells you to do. But I know what I had to do. Right. And so anyway, long story short, for 4 months, I had to prepare myself. And I heard the Lord say, hey, we're going back home. We're going to I'm taking you home. Yeah. I'm going to be with you. Yeah. I had to do it. And took my babies, and they were babies, literally. Like they were little. Yeah. I left and came back here, and again, had to pick up the pieces and, had to find myself again. Mm-hmm. But thing I didn't do, because I was so traumatized, I didn't get counseling, which I recommend that for anybody. Yeah. I still had this longing to be loved, even though all that happened. I still was like, dog, because I had made him my world of the mistake. He was my all in all. That's why I'm careful about these R&B songs. You know, my everything. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, I love Mary J. You are everything. No, you're not. No, not. God is my everything. Glory be to God. That's why. And he gave me laughter too. That's why I laugh so much. People be like, "Oh, how are you so upbeat?" I'm like, I am alive today. I should be dead.
Yeah.
All the foolishness I went through, people don't even know. That's why I laugh, like, girl, because I'm alive.
Yeah.
God saved me from like what I thought was the pit of hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He saved me. I'm like, man, what am I be down for?
Yeah.
You know, it could have went a different way.
Yes.
I could have had some type of infirmity that I didn't even know. I could have, but he didn't. He covered me and protected my children.
Yeah.
What? Why wouldn't I give him praise?
Right.
Now,
right.
At that time, again, I didn't get counseling. I'm very, very strong advocate of that now.
Yes.
I didn't get counseling. I didn't talk to anybody about it. I didn't do anything. I just, I was just like a zombie here. But like I said, it was a longing still left inside of me, and I still didn't have anybody to talk to, and I wasn't who I am now. So unfortunately, maybe, I don't know, less than a year later, so this joker comes, another one comes along, and I'm like, and this was after the divorce.
Yeah.
And instead of taking my time, even my mother said, she was not a church goer, but even she said, hey, take some time.
Yeah.
Get to know who you are. I believe that was God speaking to her, but I didn't want to listen.
Yeah.
Again, we don't listen, and so it's not, we can't blame the devil. We got to listen, and I didn't listen. My heart was so, I just want to love. And I remember praying in my room, God, you send me a real husband, and all this foolish stuff I was saying. There's nothing wrong with praying for a husband, but
right.
You better know you better know the Lord first.
Yeah.
He will give us have his permissive will, and then you have his his perfect will. And I wasn't praying to be in his perfect will. I was just like in his permissive, like, God, please, because I felt like, again, that's what I needed to be whole instead of going to God.
Right.
So he let me, he sent somebody else. Well, I don't say he sent. Somebody else came along, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna do this. I had it all planned out, April. I was like, preachers. I couldn't stand preachers. Nothing against preachers. I'm saying I couldn't stand what I had seen, right? So I stereotyped them. So I was like, and I wasn't nothing against him. I wasn't really attracted to him or anything like that. But he treated me well.
Yeah.
And he embraced me after my situation. I felt like this must be God. No. Yeah. But it wasn't. So anyway, I decided to do that thing again, or jump the broom again, right? And again, came back to the same situations of 4 years later, I'm in the same situation. Wow. Like exact. Wow. So I was like, okay, now what, Lord? And I was like, wow. So many times I felt like, okay, I'm going to blame the church, I'm going to blame everybody. And the Lord was like, baby, you got to blame yourself too now. You didn't listen to me. I sent people to speak to you. You didn't listen. So now I'm going to take you to a place where you won't have a choice but to stay in me and to seek my face. Yeah. So for 10 years, for the last 10, almost 11 years, I've been with God, period. Wow. When I wanted to, I tried to date people, and love was like, no, yeah. I mean, but it's cool. But I've learned, I've had to learn the lessons that I didn't learn before. Yeah. So, I would tell anybody, through my trauma came triumph. It took me longer, but I am triumphant now. Yeah. There are lessons that I learned. Yeah. I would tell anybody, hey, listen, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're intelligent, you are smart, you are educated, all those things. But you have value without somebody. Right. Because God is your father and God is your husband too. Right. So, I don't go too long on that, but that's my story. Yeah. Most people would never know. Yeah. Because but it is not life ending.
Right.
You know.
Right. And I'm so glad that, and thank you for being so open and so transparent. That's the beauty of the interviews that I'm doing with you amazing women, because you have gone over it. You've gone through the healing process, and some of us are still, finding different areas that we're healing in. It's a constant, ongoing thing. But to be able to be transparent, that's what people really need. And so I just want to thank you right at this moment for being open and transparent the way you were. And you said some very powerful things as well. One of them was not listening to God, and not, I guess, essentially waiting for Him to send the right person. Because one of the things, and I think this is something, I don't know, I kind of teeter-tot with it, being a single woman, that a lot of people feel like with us being single, we're just lonely and just desperate for a man, and then we've also, yeah. And then if we're transparent, yeah, if we're transparent with ourselves, we can truly say, okay, yeah, there were moments where I really was like, come on, Lord, like,
Yeah, listen.
send them. I'm trying to do right here, you know? So, talk about that a little bit. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but talk about that part, the loneliness, and for women that are actually watching this, and just like, the urges and the feelings are so strong, because that loneliness gets so strong. And then there's something else that you said too, in the beginning, about how things were when you were younger, what you saw, and wanting to have that so bad, because that's what we thought was supposed to happen. Something that we connect on that too,
Yes, yes.
because you don't see a whole lot of that. Or we didn't, because I feel like as little girls, they give us baby dolls and cleaning supplies and stuff to teach us how to be a wife, right? We had little refrigerators, so we was in the kitchen
Seriously.
cooking, and then they give the little boys, they give them footballs and train them how to be tough and go out and
Right.
work. And so for them, even as adults, I feel like for them, they go live their lives until they're done. They do that. For us, it's like, okay, we accomplish all these things, but something in our psyche is like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing as a woman. You know what I mean? And then when we are not content,
That's it.
in that life, because I mean, come on, women are running the world, okay? Like,
Come
we do this business
on.
thing,
The world.
all the stuff you're doing, that stuff don't shake us. You know what I mean? We do that stuff in our sleep. But when it comes to the relationship part and the being lonely part, and not feeling like who we are and what we have is enough by ourselves, talk to us.
Yeah. So, yeah. That so you're when you said, obviously, as young girls, that's what we're, that's how we program our girls. And
Yeah.
this is, as Princeton, he might not be on a white horse, but mine was never on a white horse, but I was looking for one. But they came on like, it was like off-white, one of them was brown. I don't know. Or one of them didn't have a horse. He just came.
You just walked up. Just walked up.
And because we settle, okay, well, he ain't got a job, okay, well, okay, but he ain't, the way he talked to me is not really all that, but it's kind of cute. No, it's not. No, you like, we have to have standards. And so, but like you said, when you don't have standards, you don't know what the standard is. And if you don't know to, again, go back to the Lord and have Him as your standard. Look at even how Christ treated the woman at the well. It's one of my favorite stories. I'm like, that's me, Jesus. I ain't had fire, but that's me. But I joke. I joke around. People like, oh, you joke around that? I'm just telling you. I love reading the Bible and be able to relate. And when I saw her and I see her in that moment, he knew all about her. He didn't care because he knew that he needed to tell her, look, girl, all that stuff, I don't really care about that. And I already knew all that. You didn't even have to tell me all that, but I wanted you to verbalize it. I wanted you to say, okay, I want to see if you're going to be honest with yourself and me. He said, you done said all of that, and I still want you. And I still want you to know that I am your living water. You came here for one thing, but girl, I got the living water. Boom. And then she was an evangelist on the spot. See, I can't. I ain't got time. So I ain't got time to be sad. Although I will go back to what you said, because I don't want to diminish it.
Yeah.
I haven't always been here. So I want to say that. It does take time. If you want to be whole, you got to go to the right one. She wanted to be whole. Once she realized, oh, he can make me whole. There's nothing else I need, God. Whatever you want me to do, rather, I'll just do it. And that's where I had to get to. I will say my time of healing and getting to the point where I am now, like I said, it's been like about 10, 11 years. Sometimes I don't even keep up the numbers anymore, because, I've been having so much fun living my life. But I would say, initially, right after the second time, I was very angry, bitter, I was mad at myself. I was mad at myself more so. And there were, Lord, let me just say, as far as when you've been married, let me keep it clean. You've been married and then you ain't married no more, and you're trying to be a saved woman. They say, the word says, you're not supposed to fornicate. Well, then that's, So my thing was with that, I didn't have a problem with that, because in my situation at the time, I was already done before there was even. So I was already, I don't know, the Lord was trying to get me ready. So I've been celibate for a long time. So I was, so to be honest, like, this is not hard. This is hard, Lord. This is not easy, God. But initially, that part wasn't an issue. It was more of, like you said, the loneliness, the night spent crying. When they say my pillow was wrecked with tears, that was me. Wondering why I went through all of that for years. And I wasn't happy initially. I wasn't. I was just trying to hold it together. And then I don't know about maybe what year it was, maybe year 4, year 5, I don't know. But God began to just show me my purpose, and started getting me on the path of where I was supposed to be. And I got so busy and productive with purpose, my calling, and understanding gifts, and throwing myself back into the music and doing things that I wasn't, because of some things I stopped doing. I stopped singing, and pursuing music seriously, because I felt like my purpose is to put that to the side and support this person, and the person wasn't supporting me at all. But I'll put it aside. God was like, okay, you ain't got all that. You ain't got none of that no more. You are with me, and I want you to go ahead on and do what I asked you to do. So once I got with that, I just like, well, okay, God, I'm fine. And then there would be times, when a person's name would come up, or there was one time I saw one of them here, and I was like, oh, and everything came on me, and I was like, oh God, I don't want to feel that. I got to live. I got to go on with my life. I can't, I'm probably going to see the person again. So I don't want to be like that. So God, I had to pray. Those nights of prayer. And then I'll be honest, God just began to do different things in my life, because he saw, I guess, that I wanted to be healed. So I did go through some counseling. And I did. And then he started sending me friends, but males. And I always been cool with, when I say cool with brothers, homeboys. And I've always been cooler with them than women, and that's a whole other show. But I'm better now. I'm better now. So I don't want to say this, but I'm better now. But I was like, I don't need them. Come on, bro. Because I was that growing up. I was like that tomboy where I could be real prissy sometimes with the homegirls and walk around the neighborhood, and they said they were looking for boys, and I was like, I don't really want to look for boys. I kind of just want to ride my bike. So boys, girl, please. But then I would play ball with the boys, and then that girl side would like come out sometimes, like Anyway, that's another story. Anyway, they guarded me, and I'm like, ooh, I do play boys. Yes, let me just lay up on you. I got you, and all the girls were jealous of me. Like, what you mad for? Because you're hanging with the boys. I told y'all to come on. So anyway, because of that, I've always had these great relationships. I just chose the wrong people relationally.
Right.
So anyway, I just said, you know what? Okay. So God began to send me friends, men who I developed friendships with. And I was like, wow. And they were like nice, high caliber dudes. And not it wasn't anything physical, but they were just genuine people. Yeah. People I could just talk to. And that's what I've had. I have maybe two good friends who are males who I can just talk to, say, hey, listen, I need you to da 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 da. What do you think about this? And we can encourage each other, and that's it. And I think I needed to have that so that I could understand how to relate to a man without him being, more than that. Because I think sometimes we rush. Yeah. We so fast. There's a fire somewhere, and there's probably a fire within us. Yeah. And it's not the Holy Spirit. But you talked about that, fire, like, ooh, and you like what you like, so you be like, ooh, shoot. But God is like, no, sis, get to know people first before you jump into things. So I guess I've just been, able to develop those healthy friendships to understand how to relate to a man. And been able to encourage people. People be in my, they'll be in my inbox, or people are asking me, P, what you think, girls and women and men? I'm like, well, what? I'm not an expert. Because in my mind, I still was like, well, I failed. I'm not married. I saw it as a failure. So I was like, right. And no, see, you be saying, you encourage them. And I'm like, well, it must be the Lord. So I have, again, to answer your question, I found my purpose, and I'm finding things to do and be, so much so to where I don't have those long periods of, I'm sad, I'm lonely, or I don't, I'm not saying they don't come. Right. They do. Right. And sometimes, some nights I got to have my good cry now. I got to have it. I got to be like, my God. I've met different people who, they were nice gentlemen, but, when you get to talking to them, and again, I'm not, no shade to them, but, I'm learning that I do have options now. I had to learn that I had self-worth, and I had to know that I had to begin to love myself. That's why, I've been so busy loving myself. I'm like, but God, if you want to send somebody, but right now I'm too busy loving myself. Like, I never did that before. Yeah. Like, I like me. Yeah. I like myself. And I had to, it's crazy because I had to sit in the mirror like, girl, get your girl, shababa. And they're coming. People are coming, but I have opted, instead of me saying, okay, yes, to the first one, I'm like, okay, you're nice. Yeah. Because I know who I am now. Wow. And I'm not, being picky, but I'm more like, I like this time now. I can just say, hey, this is not a right time for me or whatever, or I'll go on a, date or whatever, and it'll be nice or whatever, but I'm not feeling it, and I'm able to say whatever. And I actually like this, and, and, but again, like I said, there are times, I might, for example, sing at a wedding, right? And I've learned over time I had to get there, because before I was like, I ain't going to nobody wedding. I ain't singing. I was like, that was where I was. I couldn't stand happy married people. I was like, they lying. Somebody lying. I had all this craziness, and God was like, girl, you got a lot. Oh, jeez, you got a lot of mess in you. I got to get
gotta do out. Some work.
Something wrong with you. Like he was talking to me like, girl, just because that didn't happen for you doesn't mean that my institution is not a godly institution. I created it. He said, now if you give me time, get off your time and get on my time, and don't worry about time really. Just live. Yeah. Live and enjoy me. Let me be, again, go back to the Bible. Let me be your husband. Yeah. Doggone it. I would add that in. Yeah. I was trying to get into it. Girl, you're gonna be all right. Yeah. You are already all right. I'm the one watching over you. I'm the one providing for you and your children. You are doing a lot of different things that most married people are not able to do, and they got each other. Yeah. And I'm not saying you're better than them. You're doing it with me. Yeah. So if you can do it with me now, imagine what it's going to be like when I send the real king. What? Yes. No, I don't even know who he is. If that's what God wants, and I'm okay with it. Right. I had to get there too. I'm okay. Yeah. I no longer walk around and say, I don't need let those things come out my mouth. I've been there. No, I don't need anyone, but if that's, again, my prayer is, Lord, if that's what you want, if you want me to be married, then you gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Now, 5 years ago, I would have been like, Lord, I was scared. I was fearful, like this might happen again, this and that.
Yeah.
And he had to heal me. You know what I'm saying? So for all those women who are, and men, if you've been through some situations, because man, there's a lot of brothers who've been hurt, man, deeply. I've talked to a lot of them, in my heart. Gosh, so it's not just us. I say, you know what? If you just stay with God, man, and let him just work on you and refine you and just begin to teach you some things about yourself, man, you'll be able to live life fully, abundantly, right?
Yeah.
And so, you're gonna have your moments. It is the holidays. Sometimes, man, I be like, I ain't nobody to take home the grandma. I don't have the, but I got my children. I got my family. So I do that when I go to I'm genuinely happy. Well, I'm so happy for, look at y'all. What you want me to sing? I'll sing. I don't care anymore. And I don't sit there anymore with this, let me hurry up and go. I don't do that anymore. I'm more like, nah, God has healed me, y'all. I'm good. And I'm finally in a place where I can do that. And again, only God could have gotten me to that place. And I just would say to anybody, man, just let God heal you. Just open yourself up freely and let him heal you and ask to be whole, to be made whole. Heal me and make me whole, so that when the person comes, God's going to send you a whole person. He's not going to send you a half, because you don't want to be a half either. Two halves really don't make a whole. It's two halves. Okay. And so, so you want to be in a place, if that's what, what God has purposed for you. You want to be in a place where you're ready. I wasn't ready before. I didn't know me. So I didn't know myself. So, it's tough.
There's two things. Yeah, there's two things that you said that stuck out for me. Okay. Not your time, but God's time. That kind of goes back to that. I think a lot of us go through that. By the time I'm 30, I need to have da 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 da. Well, me and you kind of, now we're in our 40s, even though we are fabulous. Now let's not get that mixed up.
Come on.
Okay. Now let's not get that mixed up.
It's a wonderful time. It's a wonderful time.
It's amazing.
Wonderful life.
Yes. So now we're in our 40s, and and I'm gonna be transparent too, because now that I'm divorced and I didn't have biological children of my own, sometimes I think about that, what would my children have been like? All of my friends now, a good bit of my friends now are grandparents. And so, they have these,
but a lot of them are.
They have these beautiful grandkids, and it's like, I'm not going to have that, and sometimes you got to be careful how the enemy tricks you too, because a lot of times I was walking around saying that and feeling bad. And after divorce, a lot of people left my life. But I was just like, man, now I'm here alone and stuff. But it wasn't so much that I was there alone. It was that God, I have my nieces and my nephew, and my sister passed away. So they're like my kids. So you have to kind of shift yourself to think about the positive things. But going back to, and it also opened me up to have some good people come into my life when a lot of people left. But going back to God's timing as opposed to our time, I think that's a big thing. I think that's a big thing. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So that was very powerful that you said that. And then you also talked about your healing process. And I know that God played a huge role really in all of our experiences. We don't do anything on our own. You know what I mean? So he plays a huge role in all of our healing processes in our whole lives. But what other support system did you have? And did you seek counseling also?
Sure. Well, I definitely have the support of my family, and they've been with me. They've been very helpful. There's some things that they don't know, and nobody will ever know. You know what I mean? There's some things you got to keep within, but in general, they've been here, supportive. I help them with the family, with the kids. That has been wonderful. From my grandmother on down. my spiritual parents and pastors and cousins, so they're all that in one.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like my first cousins. They have been tremendously helpful in continuing to help me pursue my spiritual growth. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely say that they've been spiritually really the ones who have been there to, yes, lead me in the word, but also being practical, right? Cause you need me to no, cause just no, we good, okay, cause I know, what I'm saying, nah, cause I'm just playing. I said, no, you're not.
No.
He said, because it's one thing to be a pastor to someone, but also to be family too. It's like, man, I don't want you to hurt. I want you to. They both were like, they're married. I want you to have the love of a husband. My first cousin is Pastor Leslie Taylor, and her husband is Paul Taylor. And so he over time, he became like more of a, he and I got closer than she and I were, but we're only like 9 years apart. And he watched me grow up, everything, but he became like that big brother I needed back when they started dating. I watched them. That's another reason why I watched them, I followed them, because I was able to also see God move in their lives. You know what I mean? They teach me also the ups. Yeah, there are ups and downs, legitimate ups and downs, and there's some things that you're gonna go through. But he said we want to be a good model for you, because you really need to see how I treat your cousin. Right. You need to see how a man is supposed to treat his wife. He said, and I started, and he told me that one time, and I started crying because I was like, oh, I've been married twice. I don't even know what it's really like to have the love of a husband. And that is so, some people be like, what you mean? Just because you married don't mean that a person knows how to love you. Okay, silence, crickets. Because I think that people think, because people get married for different reasons. Right. Some people get married for love. Some people get married for money. I say you got to do a healthy balance of both.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and some other things, for a good make sure it's, a good connection is a godly connection. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay, Christians, don't come for me. I love y'all, but
we being real here, though.
Relax.
We being real here. We're gonna be real here.
I could say a lot of things, but I'm not. I'm not gonna give up on the brothers in church. I'm just saying, I need you to know. I need you to know the Lord for real. Yeah. And I need to probably watch you for some years. But anyway, so he was. So he. I agree. So he showed me, how a man is supposed to. So I've been watching them, right, and I've been watching other married couples like your pastors, right? Mm-hmm. Pastor Charles and Yolanda Robeson. I've been watching these different people, and I watch them and I study them. It's almost like God is having me do that, and they don't know it, but I watch. Yeah. Okay, all right. And so my cousin said, now, the Joker come and he ain't talking right, meaning because all this scripture stuff and Jesus, all that's nice, but let me see you live it. And what is he saying? Is he talking about his future? Is he talking about a future with you? I mean, or is he talking about what y'all gonna do at the end of the night? What are you talking about? How is he speaking to you? What tone? That takes time. So I've been like taking mental notes and real notes, and that's been my support. And got some counseling, definitely, some professional counseling, and kind of like got those things out. Partly because I had some counseling, but it was later, and it came out as a result of me going for another reason. So I say you might go for one reason, and then God will say, all right, now let's bring out the real stuff that you can talk about. Yeah. So I would definitely say those people, all of them have been a support. Friends like you as well. The wonderful things that you're doing have been encouraging. Yeah. So I just kind of been throwing myself into that. Obviously studying or watching some of the ministers. There are national pastors and international pastors who might have they preach, but they have like a specific gift to speak to women or to speak to single women or whatever. So. Right. Pastor R.C. Blakes, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, out of Louisiana. Let me tell you, just look him up on YouTube. I will. I'm sorry. Yeah. R.C. Blakes Because I have an aunt over the Churn side of the
Yeah.
family aunt. Because everybody, we all family now. I mean,
At
So
that part.
anyway, and he's gone, he's passed on, but their family has always embraced me, so
Yeah.
it ain't a problem. So the auntie said, "Hey, you got to listen to Pastor R.C. Blake's." All right, and he talks to women and specifically single women, but women in general. On his YouTube, he has these things called he's this thing called Queenology, and he teaches you how to carry yourself as a woman. He's almost like Bishop Jakes was back in the day when he was doing, the woman God loose. But this brother comes from another place, like almost like speaking like a father.
Yeah.
So you just got to look at so people like that. I would find them on YouTube, like, oh God, and I'll be crying again, like, he right. I don't know myself, Lord, he right. Taking notes. I read, I study. All those things I say, you have to surround yourself with what you need, with the word, and then you got to be practical. Surround yourself with people who are going to love on you and show you the love of Christ, and then pray that God will teach you how to love others, and be active in your community. It's a lot of things that you should be doing.
Yeah.
As a single person, instead of sitting around like Celie. I mean, Sophia. I'm sorry, Sophia.
Please send them, Lord. Send them.
Waiting on the Lord. Like, come on, man. Like, we not doing that, man. Like, no, get up, go out. Well, we can't go out right now, but you know what I mean. When the world open up again, or do it through Zoom. I don't know what you got to do, but just purpose and determined to just live, and then some of us just need to smile and laugh.
Yeah, and just enjoy life. Yeah, enjoy life.
That might have been a blessing. I'm not saying divorce for everybody. I'm just I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But for some of us, thank you, Lord, for showing me the light.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
Okay, let me hush, because
that's
Christian
good
will come for me. Like, some mother is gonna say, "Well, no, you got to stay in that." And I think something. I don't want to go there too long, but I think sometimes in the church we have done a disservice to some people. We have not gone to God for real. It's okay, if I'm in a position of leadership, let me go to God first and ask Him what He wants me to share with this couple, or share with this woman, or share with this man, because it's a lot that people go through. That's in the church, and some of us in leadership, we're not ready for that. We're not licensed for that. Wait, what he did, what now? Or she did who, what, and where? We're not ready. So you have to be led by the Holy Spirit before you try to tell people the standard. Just stay there. Stay there. He a man. I heard that too. He a man. Men gonna do whatever. We are?
Yeah.
Oh, in that case,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll be by myself.
Yeah.
And I said that out of my mouth, man. Get the job. If marriage is gonna be like that, but you just, different people will say, marriage ain't, it's not a piece of cake. I know it's not.
Right.
I just personally I don't have a tolerance for that. Right. This is me now.
Right. You have standards. You got standards.
I'm just saying, and I know personally some people who have gone through it, and they reconcile, and I applaud that. I love that, because that's what God had to do in y'all.
Right.
But as for me, I do. God bless you.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm okay with that. And I don't feel bad.
Right.
And so anyway, I heard the stories. I've heard you just stay there. If he hit you, stay there. If he say something wrong to you, if he verbally abuse, because it wasn't just that, it's verbal abuse, emotional. And I know, we can go on about that. But
church and divorce is hard. What? And I won't even put it on, that, but it's just, the spiritual side of it, being women of faith, we want to do everything we can to please God. And divorce is not one of those things, you know what I mean? So
to them,
it's real.
Like, God don't. It's almost like, man, that's again. Sometimes we put sin. Well, we'll say that's a sin, and it's just like it's up there with because we're rating sin. There's no sin is sin. Yeah. And I said, well, Lord, is this a sin? Because you divorced Israel. And I wasn't making excuses for it. Right. I'm saying when I went to the word, I was like, okay, I saw that you did that because they were doing all kind of stuff, and then you took them back, and I get that. I said, now I need you to help me understand this situation though. And I wasn't making excuses. I'm not making excuses. Like I said, it is not something that I advocate. I'm not over here with a banner saying, yeah, girl.
Not at all.
No,
not at
I'm
all.
more like, make sure you pray about it.
Yeah.
Make sure you seek the Lord. Make sure you have peace about whatever he tells you to do.
Yeah.
And don't come over here and judging me now. Because I got time because I'm in the house. I got time. Okay.
And listen, if that's what you want to do, but it's true though. It's true. It's true.
Like, come on, man. People are hurting. So what is the church doing? And I know there are a lot of churches who are, who are reaching out to those who have gone through these things. And I applaud it, man. I love it. I'm not saying necessarily that you need a separate ministry or whatever, but within your singles, whatever, everybody in the group, in the singles group, for example, might not be people who are unmarried. It might be somebody who's divorced, it might be whatever. And also we're all at different ages. Like you mentioned, we're in our 40s. It's like, okay, I'm more like
another level,
and a whole other thing. For me, I guess something when I turned 40, I was in the motherland. And I turned 40, I was like, yeah, I'm living my life. And then I came back and I was like, hey, I'm 40 and I'm not where I thought I would be. And that was me diminishing all of the great stuff. Now I just came from the motherland. I did all these things. I'm a teacher, all this stuff. And I still was diminishing myself because I saw, again, I went back to that mindset of I'm nothing without a man. So God had to do it all over again. Yeah. And even now, sometimes I'm like, man, like you said, we have people who are, they've been married, and I just, what I do is, again, I just celebrate people. Yeah. I just celebrate them. Congratulations. I'm so glad that you guys have been married 20 years or whatever. I don't even look back and say, well, dog, where I woulda, shoulda, coulda been. I don't even do that anymore. Those things are dead. Those things are dead. It's over. It's over. You can't go forward looking back. Right. So I got to move on. I got to look forward to whatever God has for me. Whatever my destiny is, he knows it. I don't. Like you said, I'm not smart. I'm not that smart. I think I'm smart on earth. But when compared to his knowledge, man, I don't know anything. So so I just rather just like flow and let God move and let him guide me.
Yeah. I think that's awesome, Portia. And as we get ready to wrap, I think you've spoke to a lot of different points. I think that we probably need to meet again. I think we need to continue our conversation. I think it's going to be, it needs to be a continuance, and we probably need to bring in some guys. I think this could be good for, people who, like I said, different age groups, are doing different things in life. But I'm so glad that you drove home the fact that you follow God, one, and two, that your life is still good with just you. Whew. You know what I mean? Because
it's good now.
It's good. It's good. And it's okay. Because we do go back. And I think a lot has to do with society. Sure. What we see, what we hear all the time, constantly is, if you look at everything, sex is everywhere, marriage is everywhere, relationships is everywhere. It overpowers everything. Yes, it does. Everything. And so when you look at yourself, you can be the bomb, the boss, you winning in every area. And then when you turn around and look, because you're not with someone, it's like, I'm a failure because I've done all these other things. And Tracy Ellis Ross talked about that. As phenomenal as she is. She talked about that, how she's done all these amazing things, and she hasn't. So a lot of us that have, but people still kind of belittle and diminish her accomplishments because she's not married with no children. It's crazy. So I think it's a society thing, and it's probably, something that we need to come back together and talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need to come back and talk about. So we're going to wrap the show. I mean, I just want to just keep on going. We're going to have to do a part 2.
It's all right.
Yes. So one of the questions that I do ask everyone before we wrap is, for someone who's sitting watching this episode right now, if you can look directly in the camera, they just signed the papers, or they signed them a couple of months ago, or maybe even a year ago, but they are stuck. They are still uncertain. They're full of fear. All the emotions we felt after divorce, they don't know what is going to happen with their life. What encouraging words or what inspiring words could you tell them?
Yeah, definitely. I would say this. Number one, you're alive. Thank God. You may not feel like you um, have anything to hope for or look forward to, but you do. God is still with you. He still loves you, no matter what happened, no matter even if you caused anything. Don't even, because it's different situations. No matter what it is, God loves you. This is just a season in your life that you're gonna have to go through, but you're gonna come out better on the other side. Trust me. You have to be willing to wipe your tears and then cry some more and wipe some more tears. But you have to be willing to go forward. And this time, though, you won't be going alone. You'll be going with God. You're not unloved. You're not unlovable. You're not unworthy. You are worthy. You are lovable. And you are worthy of love. God has someone for you. But right now, because I got to say that, right now, though, you need to find out from God what is it that He wants you to do in this moment. And I promise you, He'll reveal your purpose. He'll reveal your true calling. He may even use this situation for you to help somebody else because there are other people who need it. But it's okay to cry. It's okay to be sad sometimes, but don't stay there. Be determined. Don't stay there. Reach out to someone, some people who can help you. Reach out to him. Listen to some of the people I mentioned. Listen to ministers. Listen to or read some books that are going to encourage you. Read the Bible. It's going to encourage you. Just don't go back or go down to a place where you just kind of lose it all. You don't have to. There is life after divorce. There is an abundant life. There is a rich life. I could just use all these adjectives. There's a fabulous life if you just take the time out right now to say, okay, God, this is where I'm at, but this is not where I'm staying. God, what do you want me to do? Go see a movie by yourself. I know that, I know that this person might be real new, fresh, and I can't do it by myself. I never did anything with myself. Well, now's the time to do it. You have children, spend time with your children. Spend time with your family. Take a vacation. Go do things with yourself and with your family, man. Enjoy life and laugh. You might need to go laugh at a comedy show, or I don't know if y'all like, become the Christians every Friday or something that's going to really make you laugh, in the comfort of your own home. I'm Christian too now. I'm a Christian, but I'm just saying, like, some things you just gotta laugh, but you might need just to laugh, do something that you've never done before. That's legitimate now. That's legal. But do something that you've never done and just spread your wings. Some of us, we just need to maybe go to the beach. You can't go now. I'm just saying, go to the beach and just just put your feet in the sand, man. Just talk to God. He is there. I promise you, He is there for you, and He's never gonna leave you. So it may look dark now, but I promise you, that joy comes in the morning. That's what the word says. Joy comes in the morning, and He will give you beauty for your ashes, right? I'm in the word now. He's beauty for your ashes and joy for mourning, It's not going to be this way always. So you can do it. I love you, and God loves you too.
Awesome. And you can follow Portia because she does these amazing videos and she comes up with these amazing songs that has me rolling and with her students. So you can follow her as well. So Portia, before we go, tell everyone how they can get in contact with you for your boutique, for financial literacy, for singing engagements. Y'all, oh God, her voice is angelic.
Oh, wow.
Angelic. So how can they get in touch with you? How can they follow you and connect with you?
Sure, a couple of ways. As far as my business, Gullah Grand International is the name of the African goods store that I have. It's online. So you can go to www.gullah, GULLAHGRAND.com. That's gullahgrand.com. Take a look at our products. Also, for financial services, you can either you can email me at portiamitchell@gmail.com. That's PortiaMitchell@gmail.com. We'd love to set up an appointment with you. You can do Zoom now, so we can set up an appointment and talk to you about how to become financially independent and financially free. And as far as booking me, you can use the same email, PortiaMitchell@gmail.com. We'd love to come out and share with you. I'm on IG, on Instagram as well, at Portia Official. Twitter, I hadn't been on Twitter in a minute, so don't send me a tweet. I think that's pretty much, I'm on Facebook as well, so look me up as well, Portia Mitchell. So that's it.
Awesome, awesome. Portia, again, thank you so much for being here with me, my friend. You have shared some amazing and powerful words today. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everyone, for watching this episode of Life After the D. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Coach April Elle, ELLE, or you can find me at aprilelle.com. Until the next episode, everyone take care. Thanks for watching.